Cutscene time. He's still trying, okay. Still somewhat human.
Where am I?
What a sad place to be in for Kyle. Look at the character arc, it's pretty tragic. I mean, we'll see how it ends, but definitely not looking like a happy ending. Don't kill, at least. It ends here? Ooh, okay. But yeah, I guess final thoughts on Dying Light. The following are... Overall, I'm very in the middle, like very mid. There were some good moments. The narrative, for the most part, didn't really hook me. It was okay, but it was so minor, such a minor part of the experience. The gameplay, I think the DLC kind of failed to add many interesting new gameplay elements other than the car, which got on my nerves by the end of the DLC. I like the fact that at least the new zone is different, and they also made the city, a little city in there, so that's cool. The hives, personally, not a big fan, so it's another new gameplay element that they put in that I'm not a big fan of. The quest objectives, in my opinion, were, for the most part, pretty abysmal. It's pretty much fetch quests, and just compared to Dying Light 1, where I actually felt involved, like, I actually felt interested in the objectives. Here it was just pretty much most of the time an excuse to make me explore the countryside. It was short, but I can't say it was short and sweet. It was short and okay. I'm definitely glad I played it. Can't say I hated it or that it wasn't worth my time, but I guess if I compare it to what it could have been, like, it's very disappointing. It feels like they put the car in, but the design of the areas and all that wasn't done that very well to reduce frictions, and sometimes they even purposely add friction, like on bridges and stuff. They literally just put things in your way, make driving a bit more annoying. Out of 10, I'd probably give... It's not bad. Like, I mean, if the base game is like an 8.59 for me, in comparison, it's probably like a 7 to me. How much of it is because Dying Light is a good game that I enjoy, like the base, fundamental, the core features, I guess, of the game, right, that are just transitioning from Dying Light 1, and then they're present in the expansion, of course, right? Like, if you separate the base game and just look at what they added, you don't ask me how much fun I add, because that's obviously impacted by what Dying Light is. You just look at what the expansion is. Like, the narrative is so shallow, and the gameplay elements they added are so bad. I'd probably say 6, honestly. Just because I see the effort, you know, like I said, with the countryside and things like that. There are things that are still polished. It's just overall, it's not doing it, you know. But I still think it was worth my time, so I don't see myself giving it less than a 6. You know what? 6.5. 6.5 is the last thing. It's my final rating. I'm gonna be honest. Parkour is fun. Driving isn't fun. That's it. I think driving is the way they added it in the game. It's fine. I don't think it's bad. It's just not as fun as parkouring. And then you have this big zone to drive through. That's frustrating a lot of the times, because you'd be better by foot in some areas. But it's also necessary, because parkour is just not a thing. So I think just the survivor ranks, I say survivor ranks, it's like the leveling stuff to become a disciple and gain influence and trust with the Children of the Sun. Like, that coupled with the narrative arc and what they went for with the missions, coupled with driving as a mechanic and the design of the area in general. Some pretty big blunders. And like, you know, at some point, your DLC has to be a certain amount of time, right? And justifying or making the player play for like, I don't know, 8-10 hours by basically just sending them on weird side quests that have no implications and then have a little like very slim main narrative in the background, it's kind of weak. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't played many DLCs before. I'm afraid to judge them too harshly because the 2 DLCs I have in mind when I think about DLCs are Witcher 3 DLCs, Blood and Wine and Hearts of Stone, which are considered to be some of the best DLCs in gaming history. So I feel like it would be easy for me to be harsh in comparison. So I don't really know what to compare it to. Don't really know what the normal expectation for a DLC is. But in comparison to Witcher 3, I can say that this is many levels below. But I still had fun, like at times. Definitely preferred the base game though. That's something that was pretty apparent pretty early on.